Hello, fairy finders and fairy seekers. Welcome to FaerieQuest and the Ask the Faeries card reading for May 17th through May 23rd, 2021. So we're going to do as always and give the cards a little more shuffle. Always before a reading I do the table shuffle just to mix them really well, and we're just going to do a little bit more until the fairies kind of give me an indication to stop. And I think one more, the magical number 3. There we are. Then we'll split the deck. All right. So fairies, show us the cards for May 17th through May 23rd. Starting out with the Queen of Spades or Morgana in this deck. The 5 of Hearts or Fata Morgana in this deck. The 6 of Hearts. And the 3 of Clubs. So we have no diamonds in this one this time. However, we again have hearts, which we haven't had for quite a while. And we do not have any cards in there. Or no, excuse me, we do. We have one card in its natural position, and that is the 6 of Hearts. The fairies have to share with us for this reading. Okay, so the first card that we have here is the 12 of Spades, and it is Morgana. And Morgana is a queen, obviously, and the story goes that her husband, the King of Spades, is kind of a nomad and has left her to fend for herself in her kingdom. She's had to be very tough because the king is the one who gives all the orders, and people don't necessarily want to listen to the queen as they would the king, and she can't go to him for anything because he's not there. Now that's kind of the story. She is a dark witchcraft individual, and she has learned to be very manipulative and very controlling, and this is how she has had to become, apparently, because of the situation she finds herself in. Now, don't get me wrong, she's not a kind, giving person. Maybe once upon a time, but she has changed, and maybe she never was that way. She tends to be in the role that she is meant to be in. Now, if you've ever seen the show Merlin, she starts out to be what appears to be a kind, loving young woman, and then becomes a very dark and evil kind of being. Now, Morgana is currently in the diamond card location. These are not compatible cards, the diamond and the spade. The money people, again, have hidden. We had them last week. They came out, started to see more of who they were and what they were doing, but this week they are again hiding, and they're hiding behind other evil individuals, other evil doing people, those who have dark hidden agendas, those who have the need to manipulate, the need to control every aspect of humanity. That is now who is being seen, or for some, unseen, hidden. This is the whole idea. It's a hidden agenda from people who are manipulative and controlling and want to basically destroy all of humanity. here is, interestingly enough, the Five of Hearts, which in this deck is considered Fata Morgana. Now, Fata means fake. If you look at this card, you see the naked woman on the top, and on the bottom, underneath the water, is actually what she looks like. So what you see on the surface of things is not at all what is out of sight. What's out of sight is what's actually happening. But it's being made to seem as though it is going to be a wonderful scenario for all of us. But no, underneath, that's what's really there. And it is interesting that the Morgana and Fata Morgana cards have come together. Now, last week we saw that the money people had been recognized. Those who have created all of this dark energy, this dark illusion, were beginning to be seen, coming out of the woodwork, being shown by people who understand the game. They were bringing these people forth. So now, as we have the two Morganas here side by side, the Morgana and the Fata Morgana, it's like they're doubling down on the illusion. They're hiding back in the shadows again and allowing those with similar agendas, or I should say those who are controlled or puppeted by these people, are being brought forth. Those who have been the convincing ones to make it appear as though they're doing things for our good. Bringing those people forward again and making the story different, doubling down on, here is why we are doing what we're doing. Here is the next dark lie. We are going to really double our efforts here because people are starting to recognize. News stories are coming out. Names and faces. So they're doubling down. Now this is the Five of Hearts. And it is sitting where a club would normally sit. And as we've talked about week after week, the club is very much a humanity type card. In other words, it is all the things that make us human. So what's happening here is the hidden agendas have been created to make us believe, I guess, that we are very important to the money people and very loved and cared for, and everything that they are doing is for the good of humanity. That's what they would like us to believe. However, no club card is here, correct? So here we have this Fata Morgana. It's all fake. And it's dark. It isn't anything like what they're portraying here. It is all dark. And it's also a way to separate, to the best of their ability, separate us as people. Some are going to see, right away, and some have seen right away the dark illusion of all of this. And others are still up here seeing the pretty girl and believing that, everything that's being done is because these people love us and they know best. When you have two Morganas like this together, something just isn't quite the way it should be. So here we have the only card in this 4-card layout that is in its natural position, and that puts it in a very important aspect. It is the 6 of Hearts. And the 6 of Hearts is all about home, ancestry, family, love, being together. The home is your castle. It's where you hang your hat. It is where you should feel comfortable and cared for and loved at all times. This is what has been told to us is going to happen if we follow all of this. We'll be able to get lives back together again, and we'll be able to spend time with family again, and our home will again become a place we want to be rather than a place that has imprisoned us. And this is what it is all about, is actually destroying this. They do not want people to be together. They do not want us to feel love. They do not want us to have a clear path to one another. They want the dark. They want it all to be dark. They want us to feel dark because that gives them great amounts of power. So this is just something that is not acceptable. They want to make it look that way. And we need this. We need the club to be here to show that we are getting that humanity back. We need this heart and this home to be here to show that we understand what it means to respect our ancestors and to love one another and to have a home that is loving and caring and wonderful, and to, have that straight path to whatever creativity and whatever love we wish to share, wherever we wish to share it. That is so important. This is the heart of the matter of this whole reading. This is where we need to be. We need to find our way back to love. And we need to begin practicing unconditional love no matter what. And that means even for these people. We don't have to like what they're doing. We don't have to necessarily forgive what they're doing. We can just look at it and say, well, we don't have to accept what they're doing. But if they need to do it, more power to them. But it's not going to affect us because our love is strong. We're not buying it. We know it's an illusion. We know it's not okay. We know it's dark. That's not where we want to live. So then we have the 3 of clubs, and it is in the earth position. And this 3 of clubs is about thinking, as clubs can be, thinking and communication and all the wonderful things that make us human as we are. But this card is in this deck called the Wish card. And I think it's coming specifically from the fairies this time. This is their wish for us, is that we will make the decision to think for ourselves, to realize that mentally we can create this and we can eliminate this. It isn't anything that has to be accepted, because when we can create our own reality, which is this, we don't have to worry about the rest of it. But a 3 is a ladder. It's a decision-making process. We need to determine what it is that we really, really want. As you see, we've got a crystal ball there in the center, but that crystal ball isn't necessary. We have a third eye that can discern what is actually baloney and what is true. Now, the hidden agenda here has also been to do everything that is possible to make that third eye not work. That means water contamination. That means food contamination. That means giving pokes that create issues in the body that affect that third eye as well. There are many things that have been done to try and destroy that ability to understand that we have the ability to create our own reality, to mentally think it and have it happen. The power that we have is terrifying, which is why they have gone to such lengths to make things appear a certain way and to control, because they're terrified of, if we find out the power that we have, they won't be the money people anymore. They won't have all the control. They won't have us. And that's the way it should be. So we have this power. We do. We just have to make the decision to use it. Doesn't necessarily require going to war or anything like that. It requires thinking, being very careful to define our thoughts, being very careful where our thoughts are going. Hate isn't going to do it. We need to love. Put it out, unconditional love, and decide that this is the life we wish to have. We want to live on an earth, and again, this club is in the earth position. We want to give also back to Mother Earth that unconditional love, and to build her back up as well. And our combined thoughts and even individual thoughts can do that. So we need to open up that third eye and envision what it is that we want and think about what we want without negating. Once you decide, don't negate it. Don't think, oh, that's not possible, because then you have to start over from square one. Imagine and continue to imagine and create this world or one similar to it, whatever it is that you yourself would like to have that isn't this. Because this is not the way things are supposed to be. It's the way things are that they want it to be, because they have made the impression that we have no power. They've made it appear as though they are the only ones who can create a world or have money, or they're doing what's best for us. Not true. All fata morgana, all false, all illusion. This is very real. So this is what the fairies are sharing this week. And again, I really believe that this card, the wish card, comes from the fairies for this week, because they have really been sharing so much all these weeks about what's going on, and still they're seeing that there are those who are still buying into this. So their wish for us is this, and their wish for us is for the third eye to open up and for the mental clarity that can happen. So that is it for this reading for this week. And as always, take what works for you, disregard the rest, and maybe even share the reading with someone that you feel might benefit from what is being shared by the fairies here. So until next week, take care.